more time. Which side are you on? Yeah. They say in Island County there are no neutrals there. You're either be a Union man or a thug or J.H. Blair.
Yeah.
Which side are you on? 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 Yeah!
Happy May Day, Westchester! Come join the people's side. Today, May 1st, people around the world are taking to the streets, standing up for the international working class movement, standing up for a whole new system.
Yeah!
We fight for necessary reforms, but we got our eyes on a bigger prize.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Yeah, that sounds good. Good. It's May Day, ladies and gentlemen. May Day.
Yeah.
It's an important day, a powerful day, all across the world right now. Workers, poor working class people are getting together to celebrate, to commemorate a powerful, important day. That day is May Day. We're going to get started with a couple of chants, a couple of basic chants. Then we're going to have some powerful speakers come up to highlight what is taking place all across the world. I want to start with one of my favorite chants, a basic chant from the wonderful group Public Enemy. Simple. When I say fight the power, you say fight the power. When I say fight the power, you say fight the power. Fight the power!
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 Yeah. I love it. I see a lot of you people who are walking by wondering what we're doing. Please feel free to stop by and ask a question. Have a conversation while the light is red. There's more than enough people out here to answer any question that you may have. We got all types of stuff to take with you. We got newspapers. We got a little bit of everything. But the one thing we want you to understand is the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. We're asking all of you to stand with us today. May Day, workers of the world, unite. Together we can stand and destroy what this world is doing to the working class people. It's having disastrous effects on everyone, not just us, not just the people holding the banners or the placards, not the guy with the megaphone, not just me, not just them, but you also are suffering. You also are underneath a system that is oppressing you in one form or fashion. May Day, we celebrate and commemorate those people who are responsible for giving their lives so you can have a simple 8-hour working day. But I want to tell you, it's more than those 8 hours. It's more than them giving them lives for that. We're going to have people talking about the history of May Day. Explain it, because I'm going to be honest with you. I was ignorant of May Day also. I had no idea what the hell May Day was. I just know across news stations, they showed people in Venezuela, people in Cuba, people all across the world flooding the streets in celebratory fashion for what has happened before across the world. Today we're coming to Westchester. We see all you wonderful people riding by, walking by, wondering, asking questions, shaking your head, all those things. We're not looking to agitate anyone today. We're looking to engage and educate about what's going on. I don't know how many times a day somebody's asked me, what the hell is May Day? Why is that so important?
What the hell is May Day, comrade?
May Day is the day where workers came together and demanded change. And it wasn't simply knocking on the door and asking someone, hey, can you change this system for me? Can you write a petition? Can we vote this person out of office? Hell no. They stormed the streets in radical fashion, demanding change. Saying enough is enough. Today we're out here doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing, demanding change, radical change, revolutionary change, demanding everyone get involved, because the handful of us out here today can't do it alone. But the beautiful thing is, we're not arrogant enough to think that we're going to do it alone. We know that we can only do it together, across racial lines, across gender lines, across all identities. We can only do it together, standing, demanding change. Today is May Day, and we are here to celebrate, highlight, encourage, recruit, engage, because we can only change this system together. May Day! Yeah. Right now. Wonderful list you put together too, by the way. All right, another chant. I'm going to say, when the unemployed are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the unemployed are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the underemployed is under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When there's low wages, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
Crappy bosses, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
Oppressive systems, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
When there's change that needs to be made, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
What are we doing today?
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back. Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? Damn right. I'm going to ask you if you're ready to fight. You're going to say, damn right. Are you ready to fight?
Damn right.
Are you ready to fight?
Damn right.
Are you ready to fight?
Damn right.
Are you ready to fight?
Damn right.
Are you ready to fight?
Damn right.
Yes. In order for change to take place, we actually have to fight together, stand together as one to fight this system. Because who got the power? We got the power. Who got the power?
We got the power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
Who got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power? What kind of power? What kind? get the benefits and not allow others to take advantage of our goodwill, take advantage of our needs. Who got the power?
We got the power.
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 That's right. We got the power. We got all the power. I'm scrolling through my list. Hold on, bear with me. I love this one. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to say, what do we want? You're going to say justice. What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Now.
When?
Now.
When?
Now.
We demand justice. We are going to take justice, but we're going to take it only with the help of you being a part of this. I know it may seem strange and you're looking around wondering, what the hell are they hollering about now? What issue do they have now? What problem are these people complaining about now? We're complaining and fighting about the problems that you are being oppressed with. The ones that you sit at home late in the midnight hour, wondering how you're going to figure things out. How are you going to make ends meet? Why is your school so crappy? Why is my health care so bad? Why is the school to prison pipeline so vicious? All of the issues that you're looking around scratching your head about are the very issues that we're demanding change about. We can't get change without you, though. We can't do it alone. We must be united. And people united will never be defeated. And people united will never be defeated. Ready? And people united
will never be defeated.
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 will never be defeated if we stand together. We can only do it together. And again, for all you fabulous people walking by, wondering what the hell we're doing, stop by and ask one of these wonderful comrades a question or two. Inquire. Grab one of the newspapers. Get some information. Allow us to engage with you, speak with you, talk with you a little bit. We're not looking to be a pain in your behind, but we're looking to highlight some of the issues that are plaguing you as a people. We're looking to have you stand with us. Gay, straight, black, and white. Come on, Curry. Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle.
Same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Gay, straight, black, or white.
Same struggle, same fight.
Yes. United. I got one more, then we're going to begin our speech here in just a moment. But one of the issues that we see taking place right now is our politicians, those who are in power, are giving money to everybody else, giving money everywhere else. They're doing a horrendous evil job of funding wars across the world right now. While people are being evicted in mass numbers. People are losing jobs in mass numbers. People are being incarcerated in mass numbers. We got money for everything else, but we don't have money to take care of the poor.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have money to take care of those who need it right now. We are demanding that the people unite together to demand that they begin to fund people, not war. Fund people, not war. Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war. Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Thank you for showing up.
Fund people, not war. Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Fund people, not war.
Yeah! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I know I said we were going to do, that was the last chant before speakers. Let's do one more. Let's talk about poverty for a moment. Let's talk about the many ways that poverty is criminalized. Poverty is not a crime. Being broke should not incarcerate you.
That's right.
Being broke should not have you evicted out your home.
That's right.
Being broke should not allow you not to go without health care.
Yep.
I'm going to say poverty, you're going to say not a crime. Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Poverty!
Not a crime.
Yeah! Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Elgin Bailey. I'm a member of the Party of Socialism and Liberation. We are out here today in Westchester commemorating, celebrating May Day, International Workers' Day. I'm sure most of you folks are employed somewhere. We're out here fighting for you, battling for you, demanding better for you. We can only do it together. We can only do it together. We're going to begin our speeches now. We're going to have some powerful folks come up and say a couple words. You're going to learn some things. If you have no idea what the hell May Day is, stick around. It's the perfect time to learn what it is, to be engaged, to be enlightened, to be encouraged, and be to led the right way. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for being here. Let's get started.
What's up, Westchester?
Yeah.
Happy May Day! Happy International Working Class Solidarity Day! Good to be out here. Good to see you all. It's a day of celebration. It's a day of commemoration. Commemorating, giving respect to not just those that were hung in 1887 in Chicago, but to all of those working and oppressed people that have struggled and fought against oppression, fought against capitalism, fought all the way back to 1492. We're pushing up the people's movement, the struggle against slavery, the struggle against colonialism, and today the struggle against racialized capitalism that those systems have developed into. So we're out here today celebrating the power of the people.
Yeah.
Woo! So I just wanted to say a couple of words about the manifestation of May Day as we know it today, primarily because it's celebrated all over the world, like what we were saying, like Elgin was pointing out, in Venezuela, in Cuba, in China, in Afghanistan, all around the world, people are commemorating and celebrating May Day today. And of course, this commemoration emerges from something that happened, like we were talking about, in 1887 in Chicago. So in the late 19th century in Chicago, I think we should just say a couple of words. The people's movement, as Elgin was talking about, was strong. It was radical. It was revolutionary. This is sort of the height of the Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Conditions in the industrial factory system were horrific. This is the era of child labor. This is the era when conditions were so bad, people were struggling against working 12, 16-hour days. People were struggling for the 8-hour workday. And of course, this was 10 years after the premature ending and dismantling of Reconstruction. So what we're talking about is an era that there was a major crisis in capitalism. It was a major era of reaction, white supremacist resurgence, the era of reaction against all the progress and gains that had been made during the Civil War and Reconstruction. This is the era that we're emerging into around May Day, when workers throughout the world, throughout the United States, like we were talking about, were struggling not just for an 8-hour workday, but they were struggling for a whole new system. That's a really important point. They were not just struggling for an 8-hour day. If you learn about May Day in school, that you might learn about that. That's what they might teach you that. That workers were struggling for an 8-hour day. But what you probably won't learn is that they were not just struggling for an 8-hour day, but they were struggling for a whole new system. And in Chicago, this radical movement was led by German immigrants who had become radicalized by Marxism and the failed peasant revolution in 1848. Radical revolutionary socialists came over here. They were some of the first ones to jump into the Civil War and say, hell yes, we have to end slavery. That's how we're all free, when we abolish all forms of oppression for everybody.
Hell yeah.
Right.
So it was a radical time. It was a radical time, and the labor movement was a deadly movement at the time. The capitalists had their own militias, and they were engaged in warfare against working people struggling for basic rights. So there was a major demonstration in Chicago, in Haymarket. There was a bomb that went off, probably planted by the cops, and a group of the most radical revolutionary socialist, anarchist, labor leaders were rounded up and arrested, and 4 of them were hung.
Mm-hmm.
On no evidence whatsoever pointing them to these atrocities. 4, let me say that again, 4 radical workers were hung in 1887. That's why we are out here. That's why people around the world are struggling and pushing up all the martyrs of the working people's movement. Those 4 people that were hung in 1887. We're out here pushing them up, celebrating them, and continuing the fight.
Man.
There's always a balance of forces in capitalist society. The capitalists have their interests, workers, we have our interests. When our movement's strong, we surge forward. When we surge forward, they regroup and counterattack. 2020, there was a major surge in the people's movement, the uprising against racism. A lot of us out here today met each other 2 summers ago in the uprising against racism. This is the context when Biden was making all the promises for abolishing student debt, creating free community college across the country. All these promises when the people had strength, when we were in the streets, tens of millions of us in the streets, a lot of people for the first time. The movement has waned for various reasons. We're in a different phase of the struggle. When we think about May Day in any particular year, it's always a reflection of the particular balance of forces at that time. It's always a reflection of what sort of the leading issues in the people's movement is. In 2006, it was immigrant rights. In May Day 2006, we found in the US, it was one of the biggest mass mobilizations in the history of this country, fighting for immigrant rights. Is still an issue today. But there's been a recent shift in the global balance of forces. We are leaving the era of US unipolar power, where the US is the major center of global power controlling the global economy. That era is now ending. What's happening in Ukraine is signaling a shift to a new era. And of course, the US is going to do whatever they can to regain global hegemony. It's in the capitalist class interest, but not our interest.
That's right.
Just as Lenin and socialists sent a word out to working people's movements in the build up to World War I, to oppose World War I, to not follow your national bourgeois governments in supporting this capitalist war. That was really a war to redivide the world, because there's no more colonies to acquire, and capitalism always has to expand and get new markets, new sources of raw materials. So they saw it. Capitalism has to expand in these countries, but there's no new colonies. So they started to turn to each other to redivide the world.
Talk about it.
And so Lenin was like, it's fundamentally important for the people's movement globally that we oppose that war. Today is another one of those moments. We have to fundamentally oppose the U.S. and NATO's encroachment into Ukraine.
Yes.
No U.S. involvement.
They don't care about Ukrainian people. Where was the tears since 2014 and the 14,000 Ukrainians that have died in the civil war that emerged after the fascist coup in 2014 that took Yanukovych out of office? Where was the tears for the Ukrainians then? All of those crocodile tears are fading to the background now. Now the U.S. is coming out and saying it openly. They're not interested in peace in Ukraine. They're interested in using Ukrainians as cannon fodder to weaken Russia.
Exactly.
That's their interest. That is not in our interest. That doesn't do anything for working people anywhere in the world. We want peace. We want a new era of global peace. The U.S. is the main blocker of that peace. In the 1960s, Martin Luther King came out and said, hey, look, the United States is the #1 purveyor of violence in the world. That's true today, even more so.
Yep.
U.S. military budget nearing $1 trillion.
Disgusting.
$1 trillion. And meanwhile, we don't have a decent education. We don't have health care. We don't have so many basic rights. And again, MLK back in the 60s in his last book, he was saying the civil rights movement, we were pushing for things that were allowed within the Constitution, such as voting. But we need more than that. We need housing rights. We need universal health care. We need a guaranteed wage. These things, that's right. These things that are not allowed in the Constitution. So he was saying, look, we gotta keep pushing forward. We might lose some allies, but we're going to gain some new ones.
Yes.
So that's what we're at. That fight is still that he was talking about the third Reconstruction, the civil rights movement being the second one. Now we need a third one. That's where we're at today. That's why we're out here. That's why we're fighting for all of these important issues. Immigrant rights, the right to abolish debt, to have a basic good education.
Yeah.
The right to not be detained if you don't have the money to pay bail.
Yeah.
Everything, all the issues that we're fighting for, they have a common capitalist root. And so we're out here to unite all the struggles under one big people's movement. So we're out here, stop by, get a paper, talk to us. Join us, because we can't do it alone.
That's right.
Fight, fight, fight. Workers of the people. Fight, fight, fight. Workers of the world unite.
Yeah, there we go.
Fight, fight, fight.
Workers of the world unite.
Yeah, I'll just say fight, 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 and I'll say that kind of a tongue twister.
All right. Fight, fight, fight.
Workers of the world unite.
Fight, fight, fight.
Workers of the world unite.
Fight, fight, fight.
Workers of the world unite.
Fight, fight, fight.
Workers of the world unite.